Happy freaking Monday. Welcome to the Road to a Million. Thank you guys for getting on this one. This one's going to be cool. A lot of you guys who I just said, you're going to see yourselves today. You're going to see yourselves in the mirror. Actually, you're not going to see yourselves in the mirror. You're going to see yourselves in a presentation. So today is, yeah, it's the end of the year. So we had to go out with a bang. So we go in to 2026 with momentum. And I think momentum is like one of the most important things that you can ever achieve. And if we treat it like something that is important, then we will do as much as we possibly can to keep it going because it is so freaking hard. It is so hard to get in motion. It is so hard to get momentum. And a lot of times we want to reward ourselves with literally killing the momentum that we just created, that we spent sometimes years, decades, if you've been in this game for a really long time. And we have these thoughts that we want to reward ourselves with the thing that's going to stop the momentum from continuing. Silly, right? So goal today is to go into 2026 with momentum and to keep it going. And I think how we're able to do that for every single person on here, how we can realistically do that is by getting clarity. And so that's what today's call is about. It's about clarity. It's clarity about where we're going. Because what you guys are going to see today is all the things that are going to try to stop you from where you want to go. Oh, I'm so excited. Some of you guys, like Alaya and even Kellen, you guys have been part of this. And for everybody else, you guys are actually get to experience what it takes to get to goals. And the bigger the goals that we set for ourselves, the bigger the monsters that are in front of us that are trying to keep us from getting there. And yeah, so when I was making this this weekend, I was like, I was laughing, and I was also like, wow, like I forgot a lot of this stuff happens because ultimately we don't focus on the problem. We just focus on the solution. We continue to move forward. And that's ultimately what I have seen in the people who are successful in life is they focus on solutions more than they focus on the problem. So hopefully you guys are excited about today and excited to, to see if we hit this crazy goal. Most of you guys didn't even know we had this goal, right? And so at the beginning of 2025, actually in 2024, Kate and I did some goal planning. We actually rented a boardroom, we did goal planning for 2025. And we looked at these goals every single week for the last 52 straight weeks. And one of the big goals that we had on there was a revenue goal of hitting $269,000. Crazy. Now, we had a few other goals, but that's the one we're going to focus on today. And so Katie actually shared this format with me. We've been doing goals since we've been together. How long have we been together for, Katie?
On Saturday, married for a while, 8 years, and
Doesn't even
then
know. Doesn't even
together
know. Guys,
since
doesn't
2014, I
doesn't
think.
even know. It's like she doesn't even care about me. She doesn't even know how long we've been married for. Oh my gosh.
I can't count that high. It's fine. We don't have to
Yeah.
expose my weaknesses.
So what'd you say? 8 years we've been married, and then how long we've been together for?
Since 2013.
Yeah. So I think 12
14.
years.
14? 2014.
14. And so I don't know how long we've been doing goals for, probably since we were married. So probably the last 8 years we've been doing goals. And last year, Katie introduced me to a new format of goals, personal, professional, and financial. And so we actually had lots of goals, and but these are the ones that we're going to share with you guys today. And the reason why I want to share these with you guys is also to give you guys a framework of how to set goals and achieve goals for yourself. Because ultimately, like whether I hit $269,000 a month, it does not affect you guys whatsoever. It doesn't. It doesn't. But how it can help you is if you understand the framework that we used to set the goal, and then you guys can see the journey on what it took to either hit the goal or close the gap on where we were versus when we set the goal to where we are today. And then for you guys to be able to recognize patterns and be able to see similar situations in your guys's in your lives and your businesses so that it gives you confidence to continue to move forward. Because a lot of this, like there's a lot, there is an element of luck to this game, but you have no chance to get lucky if you're not even in the game. And so first off, I want to congratulate you guys for actually being in the game. It's not a game that many people start, and it's definitely not a game that many people play for a very long time. And you guys are going to find out today why that is. um, and so I created a presentation, and before we get into the presentation, and there's lots of pictures in there, and some of you guys are going to see yourselves in there, which is super exciting. And a lot of the reason that we either got closer that we got closer to this goal was because of you guys, because of this community, because of we were able to share this journey, we were able to document this in front of you guys, and I just want to give you guys some love for showing up to these calls, and probably selfishly, you guys are looking to get something from this call. Which, by the way, you're a human being. Congratulations, you're selfish. You will do what's in your best interest, just like I will, Katie will, as well. Like we are intuitively selfish creatures. However, I just want to let you guys know that by you guys showing up, you guys actually help me. And I won't speak for Katie necessarily, but we've talked about this a lot, that you guys help us both. You guys help us hold us accountable. But it also puts, there's also a level of responsibility that this call gives us to be able to continue to push forward and to continue to work hard, even when I don't feel like it, even when I don't want to, even when I want to deviate from the plan. It's not about just me. It's not just about just Katie or our family. It's about the Elias. It's about the Gazayas. It's about the Kellens. It's about the Jessica Lucases, the Julias, the Marie Jeds, Kayla Irbies. Like it's about you guys and everybody in the community. And even people who are not in the community, who are not in the mentorship yet, or maybe ever. Like Kate and I were just talking about this. We have a marriage meeting that we do. We've been doing this every single week since we've been married, so probably 8 years. And Kitty, do you remember the comment that you made um, about being naturally somebody who gets fulfillment from serving versus being, like, I don't say selfish, but just versus consuming? Do you remember the comment you made?
We had a lot of conversations about that this morning. So which comment? No.
Just the comment about like me getting fulfillment off of serving. Like I wouldn't need to consume. I get so much fulfillment off of helping and serving people. And like if that hasn't been portrayed in whether you guys are watching this live or you guys are listening to the podcast, like it is the thing that probably fulfills me most, is to be able to see you guys take what I have learned, what I have done, and be able to replicate it and to copy it and to match the result or even exceed the result. Like there's nothing that makes me happier than seeing you guys win. And it's the thing that continues to drive me to want to win. It's to be able to help more people. And Katie was talking about this morning on our calls. Like, I don't have a strong desire to consume. I don't. Yeah, maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll grow up and I'll get a desire to consume as I get older, as I get more mature, maybe, or maybe I get less mature. I don't know. But I have a really strong desire to help. And I think a lot of it comes from pain. It comes from insecurity. And I think that's where a lot of greatness comes from. It comes from darkness first. And yeah, I just, like, you guys won't ever know how much you guys mean to me. And I couldn't do it justice with words itself. So I will just continue to push, and I'll continue to try to provide as much value for free as I possibly can. And for the people who want to grow faster and want to just get there, just get there for sure, then continue to provide opportunities for you guys to get coaching and to get support and to have access to the resources that increase the probability that you guys are able to achieve the life that you believe is possible for you. And even more maybe. So just appreciate you guys for being on this call for 52 straight weeks. We've been doing this call this is week number 95. Yeah. If you guys ever want to go back and listen to old episodes, there's a couple ways you guys can do it. You guys can do it inside the free home cleaning courses group. You guys can do it inside the home cleaning mentorship, but you also can listen to it on the podcast. And so, James, if you don't mind dropping the link to the podcast, most of you guys probably don't listen to it on the podcast, but I would recommend that you guys go listen to the podcast because as of 2026, I'm going to erase the majority of the episodes in the podcast. And so I was telling Katie this weekend that I think the podcast has we've been doing it. I've been doing it since 2020, and it started off in 2020 talking about fitness, and then in between 2022 to 2024, we started talking about real estate. But since 2024, the podcast has been focused on cleaning business. And I think really that's the direction that I want people who come and find this podcast, come and listen to these videos. I want them to be focused on the cleaning business because that's where our focus is. And that's where we see the focus for being, for the next, for at least the next 5 years. We see it like we've committed to a decade in this business to really see what we're capable of doing. And so James just dropped the link for the podcast. If you guys are iPhone users, you guys can get the Apple one. If you guys are Android users, you can get it on Spotify, or if you use any other platform, I'm sure it's on those anywhere else. But those are the two main places that people listen to the podcast. And as of next week, it will just be cleaning business. And so I recommend going and subscribing to the podcast and then listening to it when you're in your car or when you're at the gym or when you're looking to consume something. Like, go listen to the Road to a Million podcast. And I actually was listening to the podcast this weekend. We were actually on a plane, and so I was like, let me listen to this podcast. Let me see. And yeah, the episodes recently are much better than they were 5 years ago. And so that's
Thank
one of the reasons
goodness.
we're getting rid of the old stuff, is because I don't want to confuse you guys. I said things years ago that I wouldn't say today, and I think I just have much more clarity. So if you guys do want to go listen to old stuff, you can go down the podcast and then download the old episodes. But as of in 2026, it will start at episode 1 of the Road to a Million, which is when we started doing this live call for you guys 95 weeks ago. And we started this call with 0 clients and zero cleaners and 0 Google reviews in a brand new state that we had just moved to, which was Arizona. And that's how we started this call 95 weeks ago. And today, that location has grown to a little bit bigger than 0. And we've also added a 3rd location in California, Sacramento to be specific. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, guys, is the journey. The journey of trying to hit this astronomical goal, and all the strategies and things that we attempted to do that didn't work, and things that did work. So you guys can learn from both. You guys can learn from the good things that we did. There's definitely things to be learned from that, but you also can learn from the mistakes that we made. And so you guys have the ability to be intelligent, and the highest form of intelligence is to be able to learn from other people. That's the highest form of intelligence. Most people, they have to learn from their own mistakes. But if you can learn from other people's mistakes, that makes you smarter. So, without further ado, you guys ready to dive in here? You guys ready for this?
Do it.
All right. All right. Let's see if I can get this presentation up and going here.
Yes.
Cool. All right, guys. This was the goal we set at the beginning of the year. Try to hit $269,000 in a month. So, what's your guys' guess? Put it in the chat. Did we hit it, or did we get humbled by it? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. What do you guys think?
Ooh, they're confident.
Confident. Well, if I told you where we started with, you probably wouldn't be so confident. And I will tell you that here in a second. So, I actually had the second goal too. And the second goal was to have $10 million businesses inside the home cleaning mentorship. That was the second goal. How many of you guys think we hit that goal? Did we hit that goal, or did we get humbled by that goal? 10 businesses inside the mentorship that hit $1 million.
We could count the plaques behind your head if it wasn't so big.
Don't look. Don't look. So let's talk about it, guys. So let's talk about January 2025. This is when it all started. Okay. And so, like Katie said, our anniversary is on the 3rd. And the reason I bring this in here is that truthfully, like this call, these businesses are not possible without this decision being made. I guess it'll be 8 years ago. Right. And so the first step of this was Katie and I showing our commitment to each other. That's a big step. But the second thing we showed with this marriage was our commitment to achieving financial freedom. I looked this up this weekend. The average wedding in the US, people spend between $33,000 and $36,000 on a wedding. Last year, my cousin, who's 21 years old, he got married in Montana, and I didn't go to the wedding because I not that I refuse to. I just don't believe in weddings. I think that they're a big waste. I think that they actually just are against everything that we're trying to do, which is try to create financial freedom. And this moment right here is one of the things I look back on. I just like, we didn't know what we were doing, but what we did know is that we wanted something. We wanted financial freedom, which means that we gave up the big wedding or a wedding whatsoever, which, as you guys could probably imagine, like that made some people upset. Do you think grandma and grandpa were very happy that they didn't get to attend their oldest grandchild's wedding? Not very much so, right? Mom and dad, like your kids, like would you want to attend your kid's wedding? Like if your kids didn't invite you to your wedding, like would you be upset? But this decision wasn't about grandma and grandpa. It wasn't about mom or dad. It wasn't about friends. It was truly about financial freedom, which that was freedom for both Katie and I and Kobe and eventually Lainey, right? And so the same boardroom that Katie and I rented out to do our 2025 goals, we rented out and we had Elia and BJ come down from Bozeman to visit Mesa. And this is where you guys can see a little bit on the board is where I sold them on the vision of not just the third location that we were planning on starting, but all locations that I foresee happening. And I was like, this is our path. This is our path to getting to $269,000. Okay. And so the first one is we got to start a third location. And how we're going to do that is we're going to move Elia, who's the GM of Bozeman, we're going to move her to Mesa, right? And BJ, he's going to be the one who actually is the GM of this new location. This was the goal. And then a week after Elia, or this was the week before we had Elia and BJ out, actually was asked to speak at a conference in Seattle. And the conference itself was fine. It was fun. It was experience speaking in front of 500 people who were pretty much all landscapers. no cleaning business owners in there. It was a fun experience, but really it was a distraction. And so there was quite a few people who asked, who wanted to come, who were in the community, and I just advised them not to. I was like, I know you guys want to support me, but I just don't recommend it. I just think it's a big distraction. And that pretty much everybody listened, except for Tyler and Kellen. They made some excuse up, and they're like, no, we're going to show up. And while they didn't come to the event, we did go to dinner with them. And this is actually the picture before dinner while we were waiting for them, because they were, as Kellen had did the wrong math problem. She did emotional math and she didn't show up on time. I don't remember exactly why they didn't show up, but this was the picture that we took before dinner. But we actually ended up meeting Tyler and Kellen for dinner, and then we chatted with them afterwards. And this is actually where the idea of the 20 to 40K call came from. So like I shared with you guys earlier, I think one of the biggest benefits that we have is that we've been documenting our journey in the public. And there's just a level of accountability and a level of vulnerability that just increased the probability that we actually get to our goal. And so after talking with Tyler and Kellen, I asked them if they wanted to participate in a free call for the community as a way to get this public accountability, but also a way for me to be able to help them as well, and doing it all so that people could see the journey. And they agreed. They jumped right on it. And so Up to this point, they were sitting about $20,000 a month in revenue. And yeah, we were like, let's get to 40K. So that's why the call was called 20 to 40K, right? So this is where the call was born from. And then also, we're still in January, guys. Sorry, we're still in January. And so another really cool event that happened in January was Jessica and Lucas became the third cleaning business inside the mentorship to hit 83K. Okay. And so, man, Jessica and Lucas, I could spend all day. I could spend a whole call talking about them, but I'll keep it short and sweet. Like they just, they helped me so much. They helped me so much, and they gave me the opportunity to start working with them in 2023, which was almost 3 years ago. It's almost been 3 years now. It's crazy, right? April 2023, and when they had been in business for 10 years. And when we started working together, they were doing about $13,000. And the best they'd ever done was 20,000. They had just dropped from 20,000 to 13,000 when we started working together in April 2023. And you guys can see here in January of 2024, they did 41K, which was a pretty good increase from 13K. And then beginning of this year in January, they hit $88,000 in a month. In a month. And they got a cool little plaque to go with it, as you guys can see here. So that was a pretty huge win. And then in the month of January, all you guys who said that we're going to hit this goal, mind you, we started January at 171,000, which, by the way, is good, but it's $100,000 away from 269. So quite a far away, quite a bit away, quite a bit away, quite a bit away. And then as far as million-dollar home cleaning businesses, again, the first business that became a million-dollar business was Bozeman, and that's ran by Elia. Kayla Irby was the second business, and then now Jessica and Lucas, as of January 2025, were the third business that have become million-dollar businesses inside the mentorship. So that's where we're sitting in January. So now let's move on to February, my friends. Let's see what happens in February. So Mesa, yeah, our second location hit $19,000 in February. So this was the first week of February. It hit 19K. Which, does anyone know what the significance of 19K is? Katie, what's the significance of 19K?
As a $1 million run rate,
If you hit
you
19K
can
for
do
52,
it.
right? That's what it is. So it's $1 million run rate for a weekly revenue. We did it in the first week of February, as you guys see here. Oh, it's on there. 2.1 to 2.7. Okay, pretty exciting. And then yeah, we got everything ready for Gilbert. Bought the LLC, created the Go High Level account. Pretty much all the things that you can think of that you would have to do beforehand. We got it ready to go. Like we're getting ready to launch this location. I think Tyler's so observant. Tyler Sowers. I was doing a Zoom call and he saw a new folder on my Google tabs. That's it. Gilbert 5-star cleaning. It was funny. He pointed out on some live call I was doing one time, or it was probably a coaching call. But yeah, we got it ready to go. And again, the plan was for BJ and Elia to move down to Arizona and BJ become the GM of Gilbert. And this location was going to be the thing that helped us close that gap. How are we going to close the gap? Is like we needed another location. Okay? And so in order to do that, in order to move BJ and Elia down here, we had to hire a third office person in Bozeman. Okay, so this person was going to take over for BJ and Elia. And then we actually hired a third and fourth office person in Mesa because we needed one of those people to eventually become the assistant to BJ in Gilbert, right? So we're on a hiring spree, and some of you guys might remember this, but we got our Google listing shut down as well, and so we had no Google listing for about 3 weeks. So fun, so exciting, right? And then another cool thing that happened in March was that Kayla Irby actually hit a trailing $12 million, right? Which means that from February 2023 to February 2024, her business actually did $1 million in annual revenue. Like crazy, like really, really cool. It shows consistency. It shows persistence. Yeah, really cool milestone. Really cool milestone. And then in February, again, we were still $100,000 away from hitting this 269K. And we were still 7 businesses away from hitting this, the $10 million businesses that we're looking for in the mentorship.
Now,
So,
guys, is your faith increasing or decreasing?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Do you think we can hit the goal?
yeah. The reason that the listing got shut down is because of Gilbert, because we added another listing with the same address and we ended up getting both listings shut down. So that's why the listing got shut down. So now we're in March. Mesa turned 1 year old. Congratulations, Mesa. You know what your birthday present is? You hit a PR, $70,000 a month. So this was 11 months in that Mesa hit $70,000. And boy, oh boy, guys, we were like, we're going to freaking hit 83K in less than a year. Like, this is going to happen. And then what actually happened, Katie?
Quite the opposite. We lost almost our entire team.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a huge lesson, guys. This is probably the biggest lesson I learned. And man, if there's one lesson I can share with you guys, I think this is it. Is if you put the revenue ahead of the standards of your team, your revenue increases will be short term, and that's exactly what happened. I prioritize the revenue of the business over the standards of the people on the team, and the reality is that high performers will not tolerate low performers, not for very long, sometimes not even at all. And because we were so busy chasing revenue, we weren't listening to the top performers and their complaints about just the low quality standards that were on the team. And high performers, there's nothing that will piss high performers off than low performers and low standards. And that slide before where I showed you guys that we hit 19,000 in the first week of February. By the end of March, we had the 16 cleaners that helped us hit that 19K. There was only 2 left. It's tough. It was tough. And not only to mention that, we lost an office person. Part of that. One of the people that we hired, one of the last hires that we actually had, the 4th office person we hired, she didn't make it through training. But somehow we still got closer to the goal. So Bozeman did 115K and Mesa did 70K, which left us about 186K in March, which is still pretty far away from the goal. And we didn't add any $1 million home cleaning businesses. So still 7 away from the goal. April, we lost another office person in Mesa. This was the very first office person that we hired. We hired this person in August. Yeah. Yeah, tough. It was tough. But our other office person that we had, or I say the second office person that we also hired in August, Keziah, she actually became the GM of Mesa during this time. It was kind of funny. It was kind of like a de facto moment that kind of happened. We were all kind of surprised, and eventually it just was like, I guess you're the GM. I guess this happened. Yeah, it was in a moment of chaos. It was like, congratulations, you're the GM. Now you got to do this job by yourself, essentially, with a part-time office person who, as you guys will see here, who was not very reliable. And yeah, so actually, so what we ended up doing is we ended up transitioning BJ, who was an office person in Bozeman, still at the time. We actually transferred him to being an office person in Mesa in the meantime, before he became the general manager of the Gilbert location, right? Which means that we had to hire another office person in Bozeman. This person was to be able to backfill BJ in Bozeman. So like it's complicated, guys. It's complicated. So, but then we also let go of another office person in Mesa. So let me just set it here, because even I'm confused. So in Bozeman, currently at this very moment, we have Elia. You guys pretty much know who Elia is. She's a stud, right? And then we have 2 other office people that we hired who were once cleaners. We brought them up, so they're office people at this point. Then their goal, the plan for them at this point, is to have them basically become the 2 office people who run Bozeman. And then in Mesa, we have Keziah. And then we have BJ, who's working for Mesa, but he's still living in Bozeman. Okay, so those are our office people at the moment, as of April 2025. And in April, Bozeman did 104,000 and Mesa did 68,000. So again, we're sitting at 173,000, which is we're still $100,000 away from the goal. So still quite a bit away. And still only 3 cleaning business owners who hit $1 million. So now let's talk about May. So this is where we started to really feel the ramifications of losing all the cleaners. It took a couple months, but we eventually felt it, and we felt it real. We felt it. Mason ended up dropping to $53,000 from a top line of, I think we did it again in March. We did 70, and then the last month before that we did 60 something, 64, and now to 53 or 68 to 53. But the top
Momentum was
line,
going the wrong way, it looks like.
the momentum was going the wrong way. Um, and this is what felt the most is yeah, we lost like profit. Mesa profit negative $18,885. And so this was a combination of us spending more money on marketing for cleaners because we lost all the cleaners, training new cleaners. Like we were training 3, 4 cleaners at a time. We were losing clients like crazy because we had just lost all of our best cleaners. So we were spending more money on marketing. And a combination of all those three things led to us losing almost $20,000 in a month. That was a tough one. That was a tough month. That's a commitment point. Like, who wants to keep going when you just lost 20 grand? By the way, this company hadn't made us any money up to this point either. So we're what, 13, 14 months in, and like we've made $0 already. And now we just lost 20 grand in a month with like, are we going to be able to come back from this? Right. But some highlights from the community was that Kayla Irby hit her first $130,000 month in May. Pretty freaking exciting, pretty cool, right? And we did our very first ever group decade a day. So Kayla Irby came for that one, Jessica Lucas, Anna Harris, Renee Krause, Julia Callahan. And this was where we got to, when I was going through this with Katie, it was so funny. We got to share our financial freedom framework with you guys on the heels of us just losing 20 grand in a month. Like, how exciting was that? You guys didn't even know that. But the irony was that we were just sharing how you guys not only just make money, but keep money when we had just lost 20 grand in a month. But the reality is like, that's what it actually takes to learn how to make money is like, you got to learn how to lose 20 grand in a month and continue to keep playing, continue to stay in the game. And so, yeah, this group decking day was really fun. So fun. And it's the next level. It's like, once you actually make money, then what do you actually do with your money? Right? How do you keep the money? So, and then in May, we dropped. Bozeman did 105,000. Mesa did 53,000. And we got even further away from the goal. So if you guys want to change your answers, now's the time to change your answers. Right. And still only 3 people who would hit the $1 million in the home cleaning coaching mentorship. Okay, it's June. Let's see if June is going to change our behavior here. Nope, not really. So that person that we had hired to replace Alaya in Bozeman, she quit. And it became very, very apparent real quickly that, holy shit, guys, are we really going to move our greatest asset out of the only thing that's actually freaking making money right now? Like the golden goose? And man, I'm like, as much as this was a problem, it was like, I'm very grateful it happened because looking back on it, just made me like, it just made it very clear that maybe our plan wasn't such a great plan. And so we scrapped the plan to move Alaya and BJ to Mesa. Yeah, we had to protect the golden goose. We had one business that was making money, the other one was not making money, and we couldn't take our greatest asset of Alaya and move her to Arizona. We needed stability and consistency and strength in Bozeman, which also meant that we had to pause the launching of Gilbert 5-star cleaning. Yeah, it was the only thing that made sense. It was the only thing that made sense. And so remember in January where I talked about meeting with Tyler and Kellen, we started doing a call. Well, 15 weeks later of doing that call, Tyler and Kellen hit $40,000 in a month. It took them 18 months to get to 20K and just 4 weeks to double their business. The power of accountability, the power of vulnerability, and the power of just having clarity as well. one of those really cool moments. And yeah, just really cool moment. Like this right here was like one of my highlights. One of my highlights.
Thank goodness that people in the community continue to win.
Yeah, exactly. Like again, back to the value of these calls is like you guys remind me of why I have to keep going. And you guys remind me of like when you guys win, it's like, oh yeah, like I can do this too. And so these are the wins that keep us in the game when we're facing losses and we're getting hurt. And yeah, sometimes you got to stay in the game long enough for you to get lucky. And in June, we got lucky, guys. You guys can see here, Bozeman turned it up. Bozeman turned it up. And when we put Elia's attention back in Bozeman, look what happened, right? Back to 166. We jumped it to 166K. Katie, what's the significance of 166K?
I believe it's 83 times two, if I can math appropriately. So that is a $2 million run rate.
Yeah. So Bozeman hit its first $2 million run rate. Pretty cool. And Mesa started going in the right direction again. Went from 53 to 66. So we stayed in the game. $20,000 loss and all. We kept pushing, right? And in June we got 233, which is closer to 269. It's closer, right? And then in July, oh, not July, but we still only had 3 people in the community who got to $1 million home clean businesses. Maybe that'll change in July. We'll see. Yeah, this one was tough. So there's a good lesson in this one. So BJ, BJ, who was our office assistant in Bozeman, then we moved into Mesa, and then he was eventually going to be in Gilbert, and we squashed that plan. Also, if you guys didn't know this, BJ is also Elia's boyfriend, and actually, as of this weekend, now fiance. He resigned, and yeah, this was a combination of bad communication from me and improper expectations, and honestly, just somebody who just didn't see opportunity to growth in the company. And yeah, this is yeah tough, but a good lesson to recognize that if we don't continue to grow and provide opportunities for awesome people in our company to continue to elevate, like they'll go somewhere else. They'll find an opportunity somewhere else. And we couldn't. We basically had him trapped in a an office assistant role because we didn't have an opportunity to bring him down to Arizona. We weren't in a certain location in Montana. We didn't have the skill sets to be able to do that at this point. So yeah, he just didn't see room to grow. So that's why it's like so important to like continue to grow your vision, and continue to have opportunities for people to continue to level up. Otherwise, like you will lose really good humans like this. So, and because we weren't going to start a third location, like we still needed to close the gap on that goal. I was like, okay, new strategy. Instead of trying to like start a new business from scratch, why don't we just buy one? And better yet, why don't we buy someone from inside our community who we already know, like, and they also trust us and we trust them. And so I pitched a handful of cleaning business owners in July on letting me buy their business. Right? And then Bozeman hit $184,000 a month in July, which was and still is a PR for that business. As you can see, Elias cool little plaque. You get a bigger plaque, Elias. When you guys hit over 166K, you get a cool plaque, a cooler, bigger plaque with bigger numbers on it. And speaking of plaques, finally, guys, it's been since January, but finally we had somebody from the community hit 83K, and that was Jacinta. And Jacinta is a really cool story as well. Yeah, she's been in business for 25 years, right? Older than some of you guys who are on this call, older than Elia. And yeah, 2 years ago, she gave me the opportunity to be able to help her, and she was doing around $36,000 a month in revenue. Been in business for 25 years, and she was not using a CRM. She was using her phone for texting, and the reason that she was doing those things is because she considered herself bad at technology. And so she was afraid, not only afraid, but she just didn't know. She didn't feel confident on using technology. And man, Jacinta's taught me so much. She's helped me and helped so many people in here who don't even realize on just like what is possible if your desire to achieve a goal is higher than your desire to feel good. And both Jacinta and I on our coaching calls were both very frustrated. uh, in the very beginning anyway, I was very frustrated because I was like, man, she doesn't know anything about technology. And she was frustrated because she was like, I don't know anything about technology. And so we were both frustrated at the same thing. And luckily, she had the humility to learn, and I learned the patience to be able to sit with her when I was uncomfortable, when I didn't know how to teach her, and just like try to figure out how to communicate, um, how to articulate what she needed to what she needed to learn to understand, so then she could eventually do this on her own because I wasn't going to do it for her. I could have shortcutted this process and was like, let me just do it for you, Jacinta. But I never did. I never did. I didn't take the shortcut. Neither did she. And that's the reason that she did this today, is that she hit $83,000. She doubled her business after being for 25 years. And that, that lady knows how to use technology. She's good now. And she's the reason that I feel confident. Anyone who thinks that they're bad at technology, Jacinta is the person who taught me that as long as you have the desire and you're willing to learn, it's possible. So I thank Jacinta for being that person. So in July, Bozeman did 184K. Mesa did 70,000. So we got the closer we ever got, 254. How many guessing we're going to hit it now? We're getting closer. We're getting closer, right? It's bound to happen. We're only, what, $15,000 away? Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? And now we have 4 cleaning businesses that have hit over $83,000 in a month. How exciting is that? Okay, getting closer to the 10. Let's check out August. Let's check out August. So, Katie, what do you think? What do you think? We can get closer?
I mean, we're trending in the right direction. Let's see what August has to do. Momentum is back.
Momentum is back, and momentum goes away. So if you guys remember, Bozeman hit 166K, then hit 184K, and we had another issue, guys. We had an issue. And so that 184K that we hit in July, by the end of August, the 22 cleaners who were on the team in July who had hit that 184K PR, 14 of them were gone, and only 8 were left. Tough, tough, tough. We couldn't fulfill our claims. So you guys see here, this is our vision sheet. Joelle is her name. She actually is a cleaning business owner. And we gave her business 75 hours this week. But the week before that, we gave her 17. The week after this that I'm showing you right here, we gave her 45, and then 8.5, and then 31, and then 8.5. So for 6 straight weeks, we could not fulfill our own cleans because we didn't have enough cleaners. We had the cleans, we didn't have the cleaners. We had to give another business 185 hours. Katie, what was the split between us and Joelle?
Yeah, revenue share was 100%.
Yeah. We gave away 100% of the revenue to this person. So we made less than $0 on these cleans. We just had to fulfill them. We just had to serve the clients. We just had to do it. Again, tough. But this also sparked us to hire a full-time recruiter. So we hired a person whose only job was to recruit. And this was obviously to solve Bozeman's issue at the time, but we're like, okay, Mesa could eventually use this as well. And so we hired a full-time recruiter because we needed to hire a lot of cleaners. We need to hire cleaners really fast. And 3 weeks in, Kate and I got this message. And so I won't read it all to you guys if you guys want to read it, but I will give you the cliff notes. 3 weeks after we hired this recruiter, she sent us a message that said that she had just given birth. And my first question to Katie was, did you know she was pregnant? And we were both very surprised. And so, yeah, unfortunately, Um, the trust was lost at that point. It was never communicated to us about this issue, and so we ended up having to let her go. Um, we had to hire another recruiter, and that person is still with us today. Her name is Zayla, and freaking rock star, just crushes it. She's so good. She's so good. Very much appreciate her. And so on every problem, guys, that we've experienced, there's always been something that's good that's come out of it. And I think that if you can always just look for the lesson, you can look for the good in anything that happens, then you realize that life happens to you rather than, or life happens for you rather than against you. And I just think that it's, yeah, just an important way to look at all these things is just like, this is like, how's this a good thing? How's this happening for me? What can I learn from this? Or why did this happen? Like, how do we figure out what the actual reasoning is for it happening? And just like always making sure that it might not be your guys' fault, but it's your responsibility to figure it out. Okay. Yeah. And so after we lost BJ and Mesa, because I was just by herself for a period of time, and then we decided to hire another office person in Mesa, and this time it was a cleaner. So we hired a cleaner from within, and we brought her up, and 3 weeks in, she decided that the office wasn't for her, and so she went back to cleaning. And so this was the sixth office person that did not work out for us just in 2025. Just in 2025. But despite all the issues with Bozeman, losing all the cleaners, having to pay someone 175 hours and not making any money, like Bozeman had a record quarter. Its best quarter it's ever had. From July to September, it netted $88,000 in 3 months. And so the question I have for you, this is like one of those great examples. How many of you guys are willing to go through the pain? How many of you guys are willing to go through the problems of losing cleaners, losing money, to eventually have a PR, a record? And I'll tell you what, and I pulled this from the presentation, but I will share with you guys, like the coolest part about this is that Alaya, who's paid on profit share, she's paid on profit share. And she gets a big percentage of her money she makes is based on profit. And so when we wrote the check to her, I was like, wow, like this is actually a life-changing check. Like it was pretty cool. And that's what makes it worth it. That's what makes it worth it. Is because the only way to success is the hard way. It's the only way. Don't ever believe there's anything easy about being great or about winning. This only becomes fulfilling when we remember what it took to get here. Yeah, this one was really cool too. And I told you guys in July that we pitched a few businesses on letting us buy them, and there was only two people who were like really, really serious. And unfortunately, one of those people live in Canada. But the other people, fortunately, live in the United States, and specifically live in California. And so Tyler and Kellen agreed to sell us their business. And that's when just the beginning of the process started. And then also during August, we had our second group deck in a day. So you guys can see Taylor and Alyssa, Marie Jed, Jacinta, who I talked about earlier, and then Aaron and Alexander also came out 2 deck in a day, again, sharing what do you do with your money? Once you actually have money, what do you do with it afterwards, right? How do you keep the money? How do you make the money, make babies? Yeah, this was a really fun experience and getting to see all these humans in the flesh. So, and in August, we got further away from the goal because Bozeman went down instead of going up. And so Bozeman did $143,000 in August, and Mesa did $64,000. So um, further away from the goal. So are we going to get there? I don't know. We're going the wrong direction again. Still have 4 home cleaning businesses that are in the uh, the $1 million cleaning business category. So got to close the gap on that. Maybe in September. Maybe September we'll close the gap. So Mesa did a thing. Guess what, guys? We hired another office person. This was the 7th office person we've hired in Mesa. Okay. And then we got another cleaning business in the mentorship to hit 83K. Julia Callahan hit 83K, and she actually did it. Man, I'm trying to remember the math here. So maybe you can put it in the chat, Julia. I'm trying to remember July. So it was just like 14 months. So Julia started her business in July of 2024, and by what is this, September of 2025, she had $83,000 for her first business ever. And yeah, just somebody who just broke a lot of beliefs for me around what is possible. And I know that she's helped a lot of people inside the community as well, because you guys have told me, you guys have talked about her, you guys asked questions. And as much as I would love to tell you guys that she is a human just like you are, she also just has this insatiable desire to just want to grow, and this insatiable work ethic that at the end of the day, like there's not a lot of people who have that. Can you attain it? I think so, but I'll tell you what, there's definitely very few people who currently have it, but she's one of those people. Um, and that's how, like, the only way you guys are going to grow a business from 0 to $83,000 in 14 months, you have to have a crazy work ethic. You have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be willing to go through pain, problems, uncomfortability, discomfort. You have to give more. And so really cool story. Another cool story, Jessica and Lucas hit trailing $12 million. So again, from, what does it say here, September 24 to September 2025, they did over $1 million in annual revenue, which again shows consistency, persistence, and yeah, just a really cool feat. Really cool feat. And even despite Bozeman going the wrong direction, it was still able to afford a building. And so Bozeman's office space that it's in right now, it actually owns that office space. And it wouldn't be possible, again, without all the problems that come with it, but also without all the profits and the money that is required to buy such things like buildings. So that was a win. That was a win. And despite all that, we're getting further away from the goal. In September, Bozeman did 106,000, so dropping significantly. And Mesa, inching back up, did almost $74,000. So combined, $180,000. Okay. And now we have 5 businesses that are $1 million businesses inside the mentorship. How exciting. October 2025. Bozeman turned 5. What?
1 quarter to go. Can we do it?
Yeah, 1 quarter to go. We have 3 months left. So Bozeman turned 5 years old. So if you guys didn't know, Bozeman was started in October 2020. And Mesa, which was started in March of 2024, hit its first $83,000 a month and became the 6th business to hit 83K inside the mentorship. And it did it in 20 months. So again, we thought we were going to do it in March. It took us 6 more months after that. But because we didn't give up, because we kept pushing, and because of this human right here, Keziah, and also Elia as well, just having really 2 great humans who love to serve and are willing to sacrifice and putting other people's needs ahead of their own. This business, yeah, it did $92,000 in October, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. And again, looking back at March when we lost 14 of the 16 cleaners, like Keziah was there. She was in the office. She went through the whole process. She went through the whole process of her thinking that it was her fault that everyone was leaving. And she stuck with it. She stayed in the game, and she continued to serve people even when they didn't want to serve her, and now she's built a team that is like such a killer team. Like the team is solid, such a good team, and it's because they have such a good leader, right? They have a leader that they can look at and they can replicate. They can be like. They have an example of what they want to be. Um, yeah, another cool win. Tristan and Emily hit $83,000 a month, right? And so they became the seventh business to um, hit the 83K mark inside the community. So how cool is that? And then Jessica and Lucas hit $100,000 in a month. It's pretty freaking cool, right? $80,000, pretty cool, but $100,000, even cooler. And Jessica, excuse me, and then Julia also just like decided to go flying past 83K, and she hit $100,000 in October as well. So really cool to see. A couple really cool milestones. Yeah, and speaking of cool milestones, so yeah, part of the game, guys. And we had a record quarter the quarter before, and the very next month we lost $8,000. This is what entrepreneurship is. I've been in entrepreneurship for 12 years. It's the only way that I've made money. I've never made money by having a job, never been an hourly employee. I've only got paid on what I produce for the last 12 years. And I can tell you that this is reality. You're gonna have PR months matched with you're gonna lose money the next month. And you have to continue to play. You have to continue to put a smile on your face. You have to continue to be optimistic. You have to continue to find the good in the gratitude, the lessons in the losses. I think this is what separates the people who continue to grow versus the people who give up. And there's two people who give up. You have the people who actually quit their businesses, but there's a big majority of people who are still in business who have given up. That's the majority of people who are in business. Yeah, they're in business, but they've given up on growing. They've given up on learning. They've given up on believing that it's possible. This is part of the game. This is part of the game. If you want to win, you have to learn you have to learn from the losses. But the losses is that's where the juice is. That's where your confidence comes from. My confidence today comes from having these losses and still making progress. It doesn't mean I want them to happen, guys. I don't try to lose money. I don't try. I don't. It's just part of it, and I understand it. I do everything I can to avoid it. I don't try everything to avoid it. I try everything I can to make the money, to make progress. However, I realize that this is part of the game. And so, what's the lesson you're going to learn from it? And so, in October, Bozeman starts growing again, 120,000, and Mesa did 92,000. So we're back getting closer to the goal of 269. So October we did 212. And now we have 7 businesses inside the mentorship that have done over 83K, closing the gap. And we did our third deck in a day. So Jocelyn, Kayla Darling, Oldia, Autumn and Ryan, Kristen, what am I missing here? Lindsay, right? All came at the deck in a day. So super excited to meet those guys in person. And then November 2025. We still haven't hit the goal yet, guys. We still haven't hit the goal. We're getting closer. Or are we getting further away? Alexis Lamar, they became the 8th business to hit A3K. Super exciting. Yeah. 3 months later, lots of lawyers later, lots of lawyer bills later, we acquire Sacramento 5-Star Cleaning. So yeah, we learned a lot from this. Talking with Tyler and Kellen, they learned a lot from this whole process. It was quite the experience. It's not simple, guys. It's not simple, and it's definitely not free. Yeah, but pretty cool. And November, yeah, Bozeman did 112,000, and Mesa did 77,000. So November 189,000, We have one more month, Katie. One month, 269. Does anyone want to change their answer? Does anyone want to change their answer now? Hit or humbled? Hit or humbled? um,
Maybe hit and humbled.
yeah, maybe hit and humbled at the same time. Exactly. So yeah, we have 8 businesses now in the community that have hit the 83K mark. So we're still 2 away from the goal on that one. Let's go to December here. Let's see what happened here. Oh, surprise, guys. We had another office person in Mesa quit 2 days before Christmas. This actually just happened last week. Um, and yeah, and it happened. So super exciting. And so we're currently hiring for office person again, again. Um, Sacramento trip. We actually went to Sacramento a couple weeks ago, and we got to hang out with Tyler and Kellen, and yeah, just got to be in their presence. Got to yeah, just even a couple things that even happened after the transaction. Katie and I were just like looking at each other, like, man, like we just picked good people. Like they're just such good humans. And Kellen specifically, who's the one who's still operating Sacramento 5-star cleaning, like girl's got skills and she's got a hungry desire to learn. And like those were the things that just attracted us about this specific situation was just good humans, people you can trust. Like when you're doing business with people, like there's an element of trust that is required because things are going to go wrong. Things are going to go hairy. And Katie and I have been in enough business partnerships before that, yeah, the people who value money or reputation, like they're quick to run away. They're quick to leave you with the bill, for lack of a better expression. And we've also been part of really good partnerships as well. So that's what led us to like seeing what we actually wanted in partnerships. And Todd and Kellen met the criteria. Good humans, and then um, great skills. That's the next thing. So like good human is one section, but then you also got to have great skills, and that's where Kellen comes with like I would say great skills, but I think that she's got the possibility to be like insane, like just like next level. And so yeah, we got a chance to go see them in the flesh, which was really cool, and go to Sacramento and seeing what we bought. Kitty was talking about this. Like when we used to buy real estate, Kitty, what would we get when we buy real estate?
Yeah, keys. Like you got to go like see a building and like check it out and
Yeah.
like touch it and see it and feel it.
And what do you get when you buy a business?
Can I have your login credentials?
Yeah, so funny. So funny. So, yeah, cool experience. And so now with Sacramento, we get to count this. This is a business we own now. And so Sacramento for the month of December, again, because December's not over yet, guys. But right now it's projected to do $54,753, which you guys remember, beginning of the year, they were doing $20,000.
Dang.
So cool. Like so freaking cool. Mesa projected to do $94,000 in December. Bozeman projected to do $120,000 in December. You guys ready for this? You guys ready? You can't even make it up, guys. You can't even make this shit up. When you combine all 3 of those companies together, the total is $269,768.
$768 to spare.
Can't even make it up. You just got to keep going. And this is like, there's a story, guys. There's a story called 3 Feet from Gold. Some of you guys have heard this. Some of you guys haven't. But there's a story where there's these gold diggers. They're digging for gold. They're digging for gold, and they've been digging for years. And they finally sell themselves on giving up, and they give up. And then another gold digger comes in a couple months, a couple years later, digs for 3 feet and hits gold. I just remember that story, and I'll never forget it. There's so many times where we want to give up. Sometimes we do give up, and we just have to remember that we're just 3 feet from gold. You just got to keep going. You just have to keep going because it can change very fast if you just keep going. Yeah. When we started this business in 2020, guys, we started in October 2020. And so for the 3 months that we had in 2020, we made $6,700. In 2021 was our first full year. We made $179,000. In year two, which was 2022, for year three, technically it was, we did $479,000. In 2023, we jumped to $1.1 million. Last year in 2024, we did $1.6 million. And then in 2025, we did $2.8 million. And so, like, the reason I share that with you guys is because, like, Katie and I are not special. Like, we literally know nothing about this business. The data shows our very first full year, we did $179,000 in a year. But also, we've learned a lot. We figured a lot of stuff out. And that's why last year we grew by $1.2 million. And next year, the goal anyway, is to grow by more. And one of the biggest reasons that we're able to do that is because of this community and because of this mentorship. And so, yes, we finished short of the goal of the $10 million home cleaning business, but we got 8. And those 8 businesses have taught me so much, learned so much. And honestly, there's so many people who are on the verge of getting to that $1 million mark that will hit it in 2026. Kayla, Autumn, Janissa, here's some really cool PRs. Marie Jed's at 65,000. Alyssa and Taylor, they're at they're over $60,000. Renee Krause over $60,000. Anna Harris, like, there's so many businesses that are like right on the cusp that are getting ready to hit A3K. And there's people behind them as well who are going to hit A3K in 2026 as well. And so, for all you guys who are in the home cleaning mentorship, I just want to say, like, very much appreciate you guys. Like, you guys are the reason that we're able to continue to grow, and that your fellow peers are able to continue to grow as well. And for you guys who are not in the home cleaning mentorship and you want to have a system that grows $1 million business and you be part of literally other people in a community who all have the same desire to grow $1 million businesses, here's your chance. Here's your chance to join before the price goes up. And when I say goes up, it's doubling. It's doubling from where it's at right now. And it's still going to be a good deal at the double the price. It's just going to be like a stupid deal right now. And so until, what is the date, Katie? What's not this Friday, but next Friday? The 9th?
The 9th, yeah.
Yeah, the 9th. So on January 9th, the home cleaning mentorship price is going up. It's doubling. So if you're on the fence or you're like, hey, I want to have a system and I want coaching, I want accountability, I want a community, here's a great opportunity to do it, to be part of something where there's currently 8 people who've grown $1 million businesses, and there'll be many more going into next year because the system just gets better, the information gets better, the people get better. And if you think you're one of those people, James will drop the link down below, and yeah, you can apply to join the home cleaning mentorship. Okay. And for everybody who is inside the home cleaning mentorship, we have Q1 planning on Friday, this Friday. Okay. It's inside the school calendar, but you can see here it's Friday, January 2nd at 11 a.m. Arizona time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern time, 12 p.m. Central time, 10 a.m. California time, Pacific time, I guess you'd call it. And so that's for everybody inside the mentorship. And so this is your opportunity to get clarity on 2026. So everything I just showed you guys, we're going to help you through this process. I'm going to help you guys get clarity on your goals, on your revenue goals, and your cleaner goals, and your client goals. Okay, you're gonna have specific clarity on exactly what it takes to actually build your $1 million or or in some cases, for some of you guys, you're $2 million businesses. Okay. And so make sure you guys are on that call. Okay. And I'll just share with you guys right now, our 2026 goals for our company is $375,000. So that's $100,000 more than that we're gonna do this month. It's crazy, but I think it's possible. I think it's possible. And I'm willing to shoot for it. I'm willing to. Like the worst case scenario is I don't freaking hit it. And the best case scenario is what happened this year is we freaking hit it. That's my risk. You're damn right I'm gonna go for it. And I'm gonna double this goal. We're gonna get 20 $1 million businesses in the community in 2026. That's you guys. That's like the Mike Lopez's, that's the Marie Jeds, right? That's the Ottoman the Ottoman Ryans. Like that's you guys. Like you guys are part of this 20. Need you guys. The Renee Krauses, I need you guys to be able to hit this goal. Okay. And then this is the big goal. Not that the other ones are big, but this one is a huge goal, is we want 5 $2 million businesses. Right. And so, yeah, this is the Jessica Lucases, this is the Elias, right? This is the Julias, Kayla Irby's, right? The Jacintas, the people who already had 83K, like, good job, but 2 million is even cooler. Okay. And so these are the 2026 goals that we have, and I wanted to make these public, and we can come back 52 weeks from into the future, and we can relive these goals and see if we hit them or we got humbled by them. And Katie said it so well, is both. Like even after hitting the goal, like I'm still humbled, and to recognize that it can go either way. And there is an element of luck. There's also an element of just like persistence and an element of taking accountability and taking responsibility, and an element of just seeing the good in humans, and also just seeing the good in yourself and seeing the good in your progress. And yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks for showing up. I know we went a little late today. I want you guys to be part of this goal. So some of you guys are part of this 5 $2 million goals. Some of you guys are part of this 20 $1 million goals. And a couple of people in here who are on my team, you're part of the $375,000 goals a month, right? And so just thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for showing up. Yeah, just have a lot of respect for you guys, and just appreciate you guys. And next week we'll be back again on this call. Road to $1 million. We'll be on here again, and finding ways to help you guys continue to grow your businesses, help you guys see what's possible. And yeah, in between now and next week, go do the do. Go create evidence. Go create the best way to create confidence is to create evidence in your life. And so between now and next week, guys, like go create evidence that you can do this, that you can make progress, that you can do something, that you can face something hard and you can still move forward. Daddy, anything you want to add?
Oh, appreciate you for leading this community, for leading these calls, and also appreciate everybody for showing up.
Yeah. Yeah. Happy freaking Monday, guys. This is the last Road to $1 million in 2025. This is the last week of 2025. Next week, you get a fresh slate, essentially, right? And yeah, always find ways to sell yourselves on like life happens for you, and we're just very grateful. We've all made it. We've all made it, guys. We've all freaking made it. Everything we do beyond this, it's just for fun. It's just for fun.
I think one thing my takeaway is always it's like people always look for that freedom, like the lack of responsibility almost. Once I get there, I won't have responsibilities. And I hope today that you guys all took away that like the bigger the numbers, the bigger the responsibility. But also the bigger the desire to help more people becomes. So uh we'll never lie to you. We'll never tell you that it gets easier. In fact, it gets harder. You just get better at enduring the hard and overcoming the obstacles. The obstacles get bigger, they get harder, but you become more capable of overcoming them every single time.
It becomes more meaningful. And like I just believe at the end of the day, like when we're all getting ready to die, like we're all gonna die without any of the things. We're all gonna die without money. We're all gonna die by ourselves. Like there's only a spot for one person in your guys' grave. Like, and the people that you care about, like they will also die. Just like just understand that like what you're going to go to your deathbed on is like what's important. Like, is it important to take the shot? Is it important to try? Like, what is the risk? Like, what are you losing? Like, everything you have right now is rented. You don't own it because the moment that you pass, like, it gets recycled back, and somebody else is going to own it for a period of time. So take the risk. Go do it. Like, have the courage to commit to the goal. Like, go all in. Be okay with like being obsessed. You will never get an extraordinary result with ordinary behaviors.
It'll be extra.
Go be extra. There you go. Go be extra. If people around you are calling you extra, that's how you know you're doing things right. So happy Monday, guys. Back to work. Appreciate you guys so much. See you guys next week.